Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. It is with a great deal of pleasure and excitement that I'm here today with all of you to present you the cast and crew of Teatro Grattaciello's and Camerata Bardi's 2020 production of Umberto Giordano Fedora. My name is Stefanos Koroneos. I'm the Artistic and General Director of Teatro Grattacielo and Camerata Bardi Vocal Academy, and I would like to take just 3 seconds of your time to salute our friends in Italy and in Greece. Buonasera amici italiani che ci ascoltate e ci seguite, grazie per essere qui. Sono Stefano Scoroneos, il direttore artistico del Teatro Grattacielo e vi auguro un buon ascolto. Καλησπέρα, φίλοι και φίλες από την Ελλάδα. Το όνομά μου είναι Στέφανος Κορονέος και είμαι ο καλλιτεχνικός διευθυντής του Θεάτρου Grattacielo στη Νέα Υόρκη. So I'm back, okay, in English. That was just a little bit of salute in other languages because we do have a lot of followers in those countries. And today I'm joined by our president of the board, Enzo Pizzimenti, by soprano Michelle Johnson, our music director and conductor Israel Gursky, soprano Maria Brea, tenor Jeremy Brauner, baritone Marcello Guzzo, mezzo-soprano Eugenia Forteza, soprano Kinneret Eli, who will be joining us from Israel, bass Rick Axter, and my friend and director Malena Dayen. On October 2020, Fedora was filmed at Target Margin Theatre in Brooklyn, starring soprano Michelle Johnson in the title role and tenor Jeremy Brauner in his debut as Loris. This digital production has been filmed with 4 cameras and a sound engineer, using interactive cameras and overlaying filming techniques with the assistance of Freedom View contribution, which we thank for all their hard, beautiful work. So since the pandemic hit our country, it was clear that this year we would not be able to do things the normal way. Before I start walking you through our process, how did we do it, I would like to take a moment to recognize the extraordinary work that Teatro Grattaciello's founder, Dayen Prince, did all these 27 years that the company exists. And I would like also to thank everyone who has supported us so far. And last but not least, a very dear person to me. His name is Francesco Pensabene. Francesco, I hope you are listening, who is the art director of Oltremedia Marketing in Milan, and who has been working hard with us to spread the word about opera and about Teatro Grattacielo. So that's all from me. Now it's all about everybody else. And I would like to start with our rock. Another person that is very dear to me, our president of the board, Enzo Pizzimenti. Ciao Nsuccio, hi, how are you?
Ciao everybody. Hello.
Hi.
Kalispera.
Bravo, you're learning some Greek. Congratulations. I guess my Greek lessons are serving for something.
Yeah, I remember. Kalimera, Tekanyis, Kalat, all these beautiful things.
Fantastic.
Well, I'm so happy. I mean, there is no words. There are no words that can express how happy I am about everything we have done. Basically, this year we have been busier than ever in the world stage. I would say New York, but it's the world stage. Right now, we are busy in Italy. We are busy in Greece. We are busy in the United States. We had productions, Mephistopheles. We had concerts, documentaries, more to come before the end of the year. And after, we are one of the busiest opera companies that I know. This is crazy. This is beautiful. In this time of pandemic terror, we are smiling. We are happy and we are happy because we're happy to serve the international community that right now they need some good news. And good news is music. Music is the eternal language, I would say, of the gods, going back to Greece, our ancestors. So I don't want to talk too much, but all this production, all this hard work done by all of you was possible because we had some angels that helped. We're gonna need help to continue in the future, because this year we helped personally to make this possible, and we had some generous people participating. But we're gonna need all the help we can get from everybody that listens to us, from $1 to $1 million. We'll take all.
I like the second one.
Right now, I can see we have people from Italy. I see the people from Italy are from Firenze. My regards to Firenze, our mother patria, for Camerata Bardi. As you know, opera was born in Firenze, in the Camerata Bardi, Camerata Fiorentina. I have friends online from Macerata. I have friends online from Reggio Calabria, from Milan, from Bologna. Ciao a tutti in Italia. Hello to everybody all over the world. They are following us. Thank you very much. And thank you, Stefanos. Thank you, Francesco, for making us a worldwide phenomenon. Okay. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you, Enzo. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, all joy of joys, all rapture of raptures. I'm about to bring in a person that I grew up, I don't know her for that long, but I do love her very much. And I think she's an extraordinary artist. Her name is Michelle Johnson, soprano Michelle Johnson, who was the star of the show, who was Fedora. Michelle, you will need to unmute your microphone. I believe you. Oh, there you are. Hi.
Hi. Thank you for having me here today.
Absolutely, Michelle. Welcome to this live. And in 2 days, all of you will be able to actually enjoy her through our streaming. But in the meantime, Michelle, I wanted to ask you something that I have always been fascinated about, a little bit because of my story, my personal story as a performer, etc. Could you please tell us in a few words, what happened that one day prompted you to become an opera singer?
Well, I think it kind of started at a young age. As far as singing goes, I grew up in the church in Houston, Texas. My father was a pastor at Homer Street Baptist Church in Houston, Texas. So I grew up singing in the church. As far as the opera world, I always say that opera kind of gathers us crazy people together. I didn't grow up with opera in my household, but I saw my first show on PBS on television, and it Madame Butterfly. I think I was about 8 years old, and that's what kind of sealed the deal. And I think that was the first seed planted into my life. And after that, my voice teacher in high school, she encouraged me to audition for some conservatories because she really thought that I could do something. I thought I was going to go into education because I come from a very long line of educators, but you kind of have to follow the path that's kind of drawn out for you. And so I don't fight it too much.
I'm happy that you didn't, that you followed the path that you followed. And I mean, the results, I must tell you, are more than evident. I really appreciate the work that you put in preparing Fedora, and your performance was incredible. And I cannot wait to share it with the rest of the world. And talking about Fedora, can you tell us a little bit about the role of Fedora?
Sure. This role just happened to fall into my lap. Again, you just follow the breadcrumbs of,
right.
of life. And firstly, I am so grateful and thankful to Teatro Grattacielo for not just canceling or giving up on this season through all of these difficulties and just weird, odd times, and to be able to come into a role a little later on than most of the cast. It was, number one, you got to put your thinking cap on, just focus. I was introduced to Fedora maybe about 5 years ago. It was randomly playing on Sirius XM, the Met Opera radio station. So that was my first time ever hearing it. And I was like, what is this? It was just, it's so lush, and it was something I had never heard of. And so that was my first kind of inkling into the role. Now, the role itself, when I just dove in, it just, you know, I don't know, Verismo fits me. And
Right.
and I fell in love with the character. She's young, she's, you know, very passionate, and I mean, I love those fiery type of roles, and she fit so well. The cast was wonderful. We didn't have a lot of time, but everybody was so focused and so ready to start this project. Everybody was just happy to be singing and being together, and we all missed it. And so I think you'll see that excitement as you watch.
Absolutely. And I mean, I was there, so I can testimony to all of this. But what it's a little bit particular about the role, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that it's a little bit lower in tessitura than many other, let's say, roles that fit your fach. Is that right, or?
Correct. It is a very, very middle, heavy, and lower register role that if I were to do, I guess, my normal soprano warm-ups, I think I would actually kind of warm myself out of the role, you know? So I was very, very cautious about that, just because it does sit in a more meatier area of the voice for the soprano voice type. It just gives you a little bit more room to kind of get into that nitty gritty type of sound of your voice, and use all of the different colors that you can produce in that area of your instrument. I must admit, afterwards, I had to do another sort of digital concert, and I had to sing, you know, flute things at the top. I said, "Oh Lord, have mercy! Give me a second. Give me back up."
In fact, I saw that concert, and I was singing the same thing. I was like, "How did she go from that to totally the opposite?" Because I saw you in Virginia. Yes.
Total opposite land, but it all worked out at the end. It was actually really nice. I was a mezzo, and when I was in college, and then I switched over to soprano in my, you know, a little bit later on. So it was nice to kind of revisit those nice low tones.
Right. Fantastic.
Right.
And you will hear them, ladies and gentlemen, very, very, very soon. Thank you so much, Michelle. Stay there with us, because we will bring you in a little bit later. And I will keep moving on with our guests. Next guest for us will be our music director and conductor, Israel Gursky. You should know that this year we had several challenges. One of the challenges was that we could have, within the target margin theater that we filmed, we could only have 14 people. We were not allowed to have more than that, which was a miracle, because at the beginning, when we started the process, we were actually told that we could only have 8 people within the building. So if you keep in mind that we had 4 cameramen, 1 sound engineer, director, a designer, a lighting designer, there was very little space for everybody else. And when we started the process of building up this production, when everything happened, we had to do something. So the first thing that me and Israel talked about was, what do we do with the orchestra? And Israel rightly so said that certain works do not work with an orchestra reduction. They have to be enjoyed with the full orchestra or with the piano. Lucky us, Israel is not only an incredible conductor, he's also an incredible pianist. So we got the best of him in this production, because he got to conduct from the piano and he also got to play. Hi, Israel. Welcome.
Hi, Stefanos. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone listening in the US, and good evening to everyone listening in Europe.
In Europe, yes, yes. Thank you so much for being with us. And obviously, my first question, it goes without saying, because you were at the head of everything in this production, is can you tell us a little bit about the opera?
Well, the opera is one of the greatest verismo operas. And for the few people here who are not familiar with the term verismo, it refers to Italian operas of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. And it goes with big emotions, and it goes with situations that's supposed to be more real, as opposed to the old operas that are traditional and has to do with noble people and with gods. And what is so wonderful about Fedora is that it works like a thriller. It's so quick, it's so immediate, the emotions are so big. And, you know, Giordano, the composer, he packs so much into 90 minutes of music in 3 acts. It just bang, 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 you know, an aria, a situation, someone gets killed, someone gets chased, you know, someone commits suicide at the end. It's quite astonishing in the emotional depth and immediacy.
Yes, yes. I mean, and I must tell you that I had seen the opera long time ago, many years ago at La Scala with Mirella Freni and Placido Domingo, and it was that what hit me right away was, of course, the beautiful music, but it was the story. The story is quite gripping, and I really loved it. Israel, even though I do know, but I think that the people would like to know also, what's your history with Teatro Grattacielo?
Well, my history with Teatro Grattacielo started in 2012 when my manager at the time called me and said, would you like to conduct the best opera that has never been performed? And I was very intrigued. So I think it was April of 2012, and I got to meet the first time Dayen Prince, the founder, and until last year, the artistic director of Teatro Grattacielo. And she introduced me to that piece called La Nave by Montemezzi, which has been premiered in 1919 and not performed since 1932. And it was a gigantic piece, and we performed it. It was during Hurricane Sandy, which made everything more interesting, more complicated. And the rest is history, because starting in 2012, every year I conducted the production, rather the concert of Teatro Grattacielo.
Absolutely. We are getting ready. We're not going to tell you yet with what, but we are getting ready for next season, next year, hopefully live, and hopefully once more on a stage in New York City. Thank you so much, Israel. I will see you in a while at the end.
Thank you. Looking forward to seeing Fedora. I think the result is quite exciting, and I hope many people will be just as excited as we are to watch it, to stream it.
Absolutely. I cannot wait to. And talking about Fedora, I think it is a time for all of you to have the pleasure, I hope, and the opportunity to see our protagonist, our title role, Michelle Johnson, singing a small snippet from this production. Enjoy.
Sorriso
Yeah, you get the idea, I hope. Huh? It's pretty great. It's pretty great. Really, really, really. Bravo. Virtual applause. Michelle, what can I say? I am very happy to have all of you. All the cast is extraordinary. And please, please, please go to see them. Talking about cast, it is time to bring another extraordinary soprano in the picture. Her name is Maria Brea. She was Olga. She sang the role of Olga. Hello, Maria.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, wonderful. I'm super excited to have you and to salute you. It has been 2 months that we haven't seen each other, and you should all know that Maria. And this is something that really, really, really made me so happy. Is pregnant. She's about to have twins.
Mm-hmm.
Can we say a little bit more? Are there girls, boys? Am I allowed to ask? Or
Absolutely, absolutely.
So don't keep us waiting. What are there boys or girls?
There are 2 boys. And apparently they are fraternal, but there is a small chance that they could be identical when they are born.
Right.
I have been learning so much about twins. This is like a whole experience for me. I've never been a mother before, so.
And this is something actually that it triggers me. My next question. Obviously, you are a performer, extraordinary performer. We have all been following your path. What is how can motherhood and career can be combined into a successful formula according to you?
Well, I think it's very important to know if you are ready to actually do this. I mean, I think it could be the same for any other career. In my opinion, you have to have a solid foundation in what you want to do and have lived a couple years. But, you know, everyone must do it their own way. I think it's possible. Our bodies are incredibly adaptable. I was able to sing. I'm still able to sing, and I'm 8 months pregnant, and I'm singing everything. Yeah, I'm able to do pretty much everything.
I can testimony to that because I was there when we were filming, and definitely you can sing. I also want to take this chance to say to everybody who is listening right now that our recording was not done in studio and then we filmed. It was pretty close to Teatro Grattacielo's mission. It was live. All the singing that you will hear from all our singers is pretty live and pretty incredible. Maria, can you tell us a little bit about the role of Olga?
The role of Olga I think it's the fun part about the opera. There is so much drama happening and all this murder. And Olga, it's a person who enjoys life. And even though, you know, she's in exile and like, you know, she was being followed by people, she's the kind of person that, you know, maybe will affect her for like 5 minutes and then she moves on. So I kind of like her because I'm not like that. I overthink everything. And it was so fun to get into the shoes of someone who is so crazy and just enjoys life. And musically, it was incredibly fun and challenging as I was adapting in my body. And with pregnancy and hormones, it's such a high role. It's like the opposite of Fedora. It's always high, high, high. And it was so much fun. And I just really enjoyed playing this character. And I wish the arias were not usually cut. And I am so thankful you guys let me sing the arias in the opera.
Absolutely. And, you know, I find it very interesting that within an opera like this, there are 2 soprano roles, totally different one from the other. And you brought it in. I can tell you because I have heard the final project. I have been hearing I have been listening to you for the last 2 months, and you nailed it in so many ways. You brought up the personality. When we casted you, we thought of you right away because you have that personality, that bubbly personality, that Latina passion, and obviously the voice to sing the role. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, gracias de todo corazón, y saludos a todos de Latinoamérica.
Thank you. I love that. Stay with us. We will see you at the end. And ciao. And we will move on to, every opera, especially those very small operas, have a tenor, require to have a tenor. When we decided to film this project, not to cancel, but to go on, we knew that we wanted, first of all, a particular artist, a particular sound, but we knew that we wanted somebody who can deliver those incredible, difficult pages written for tenor over and over again if we needed to do more than one takes while we were filming. And because it was all live, it was important for us to have a person, not only that is a good artist, but is also a great technician, somebody who can actually deliver all of this. And this person was, and is, I should say, Jeremy Brauner. Hi, Jeremy.
Hello, Stefanos.
How are you?
I'm blushing.
Oh, no, don't blush. I'm saying the truth. It's always that this opera has many, many difficulties. All the parts are very difficult. One of the difficulties is exactly that Loris lays probably, even though it doesn't look like, but lays a little bit higher than many other tenor roles. And you just delivered over and over again, every take that we did, I was listening because we have hours and hours of takes and tapes, and in which you always sang in voice and you always delivered the best of you. And congratulations. I'm really, really thankful that you have been with us. And what I wanted to kind of ask you, and I think that people will be also interested to hear, is tell me how your music life has changed since COVID.
Well, everything has changed since COVID, and music especially. It seemed that the whole world was put on pause in March, and it's really amazing to see how different companies and artists are adapting to these changes can be implemented going on in the future, not just as a response, but as a new way to bring art and bring opera to anyone at any time. This performance in particular will live on in eternity. It's not a concert that if you missed it, too bad. Now you can see it whenever you'd like, and the opportunity to film in such an intimate capacity really gave new light to the performance, I would say. And personally, I'm somebody that needs to work in person with people, so it was a little bit of a struggle. But finding the technology solutions to do that and work with amazing coaches to really bring this difficult music into my voice, and it was a new experience. But once we got on the stage and singing live with people, it just filled my heart up. So it was amazing to do.
Thank you for saying that, and we certainly tried our best to keep close to our mission, and to keep exactly what you said. It was very important to all of us in Teatro Grattacielo to keep during these hard times producing some wonderful music and to keep our season up. I would like also for you to talk a little bit about the particular role, Loris, who has probably the most famous tune in the opera.
Yeah.
right?
In fact, I did not know much about the opera other than his aria Amor di Vieta. What's interesting about Loris is, he doesn't come in until Act 2. So in Act 1, we only hear him by name, and he's the villain primarily. He's committed a heinous crime, and there's this whole subterfuge and plot to get him to admit it. And it isn't until you hear his side of the story that you start to feel for him, and you realize he's not the villain that he's perceived to be. And then he, becomes the love interest for Fedora, and they have a beautiful time together until tragedy befalls, as is wont to happen in Verismo opera. But Loris's arc is very tragic, and he gets some really beautiful music that Giordano has given to the role. And as you said, it sits in a very interesting place in the voice. The majority of it is right in the passaggio, and I don't believe it goes above an A until the very end. So it's a lot of heavy singing in a difficult part of the voice, but really leaning in and letting the music tell you where to go was my method, and it was very exciting. And music that excites me, I feel like I want to sing more and more and more, and it just feeds into itself. It was a beautiful role to sing, and I hope I get the chance to do it again.
I wish you would. I wish you would, and I will buy the first ticket to come and see you, wherever that is. Wherever that is. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Please stay with us too. We will see you at the end.
Thank you, Stefanos. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. So part of the quartet of our main characters, our main roles, is, I should say, and a baritone that is also very close to my heart for so many reasons. I know Marcello Guzzo for many years. We never had the opportunity to sing together when I was a performer. But when we started talking about possibilities for the role of for DESIRÈ in Fedora, he really popped in my mind, not only for vocal reasons, not only because I thought that his voice was perfect for this role, but also personality-wise. We needed somebody who had that dashing, beautiful, radiant personality that Marcello has. Hello, Marcello. You have to we cannot hear you. You need to unmute yourself. Ciao.
Thank you, Stefano. Thank you for the words. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Absolutely, and I can see a lot of music scores in the back of your.
Yes.
Excellent. Are you preparing something in particular, or you just?
Well, it's a work that always review, and it's always something new to learn. Yeah, we're preparing for next year as well.
Fantastic. So. I know that you come from Uruguay, and what I'm interested and kind of curious to know is what made you wake up one morning and say, okay, I will be an opera singer?
Well, it's interesting because for a long time, I never have the question in my mind that I should study music that was not related with opera.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that it was, coming from Uruguay, we have tango, rock, all type of musics, and opera is not really something that was close to my home base. But somehow it was what was present to my heart, and I have the tremendous opportunity to have many people that help me to develop and to connect to opera and to learn, especially great teachers in Uruguay, but also when I have the possibility to study with Mathilde Souret in
Mm-hmm.
France, and
Mm-hmm.
also the College of Charleston, and then at Maris in New York City. So it's been a project, a road that took a tremendous amount of responsibility. You know, when we have the possibility to develop a talent, we are the very few in the world. You know, 0.005% the population in the entire world have the chance to pursue what is in their heart. So
Right.
Even we know that following a career and develop a talent is the very difficult road ahead. We have the responsibility to face the opportunities that comes to us and to honor the people and the talent that we can bring to the world. So it has been a life-changing experience in many ways.
You know, you said something that really touched my heart right away. I know, obviously, quite some people that they feel the same like me and you. We are lucky that we wake up in the morning and we get to do what we love. I feel so thankful. I want to say that for everybody to hear. And I start working at 5 o'clock in the morning every morning because we have a lot going on in Italy and in Greece. But really doesn't bother me at all because I wake up in the morning and I get to do something that I do really, really, really love.
Yeah.
So thank you for saying that. That's important.
Yeah,
and so I want you to talk a little bit also about your role. And before you do that, I want to say that, you know, it was Fedora is obviously known for LOREK, is obviously known for the beautiful role of Fedora, and in some ways for the role of OLGA too. But nobody knows about this gem of DESIRÈ, who is an incredible role, but somehow has always been obscured from the tenor.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, of course, and it should be. You know, the tenor has one of the most amazing arias ever. But we don't even hear the aria of the SIRIEX sometimes in concert or in auditions. It's a perfect aria who shows range, coloraturas, high notes, beautiful lines. I don't know why what is that way, but I took it to my rep now, and it was a wonderful opportunity to learn more about this role, who is very interesting. You know, I like also the possibility that in the character, you don't really have to create so many bridges. It's really well connected. And it shows the friendship, the strong relationship that they have with Fedora, but in a chance, he jumped out of his character and trying to be this kind of charming Marcello bohemian diplomat who changed faces in a second. So it really gives you the possibility to expand a lot of colors in your character, not only just on the voice. And I really found a role who is concrete, very clear, and makes you give the possibility to deliver the goods in a very short time. It has been a wonderful opportunity, but also have to mention that in a moment that we all needed a project to believe and to go forward, in a moment that the world was kind of divided between the good experience and the bad experience, how we react to situations in a very dramatic outcome that we were facing. Portraying this role with Teatro Grattacielo based in this idea, it was a very good energy for our hearts. So we cannot thank you enough. These type of projects and difficult situations show us how well we can achieve quality and really moving forward to pursue and to maintain our art alive.
Thank you so much, Marcello. And, all of you guys, ladies and gentlemen, that please go to teatrograttacielo.org on Tuesday and enjoy Marcello in an incredible performance as DESIRÈ. Marcello, stay with us. I will see you at the end. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you. So you have been seeing me drinking some. This is espresso. They say that opera goes with wine and with pasta. It's a little bit too early for wine. So I said to myself, okay, I cannot drink that early in the afternoon. At least I will have an espresso. And talking about espresso and Fedora, I think it is that time of the day that I would like to show you a second snippet from our production. This time is our incredible tenor, Jeremy Brauner. Enjoy. Wow. I mean, if I was a tenor, I would like to sound like him. But I still have a little bit of career. I'm not a tenor, so bravo. If I were a tenor, I would like to sound like Jeremy Brauner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you will see that my smile is going to go from here all the way to there, because I'm about to bring in a person that I love so much. Her name is Eugenia Forteza. Mezzo-soprano extraordinaire, opera influencer, founder and president of 360 Degrees of Opera. She's an incredible entrepreneur all the way around. And she was also our DIMITRI in Fedora. Hi, Eugenia, how are you?
Hi, Stefanos. Thank you so much for having me. This is going so well. I love it. It's so great to hear from everyone.
Yes. I mean, what a cast! I'm so blessed to have you in this production, but not only in this production. I hope also in my life, because I do want to, to be in touch with all of you, and I want to keep following you. And Eugenia, what I said before, I really meant it. You are a 360 degrees artist and entrepreneur. And I would like you a little bit, for the people who are following us, to explain how can you combine your performing side with everything else that's going on in your life.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for the kind words. For me, honestly, I can't do it another way. For me, it's all part of being an artist, at least being the artist, the kind of artist that I want to be. I can't, this is something that comes with me since I started. I can't just be on the stage. Not that just being on the stage is little. It's a big, big responsibility. But everything I approach, for me, it comes with other responsibilities and other interests too. I've always had a lot of interests, and somehow in the last few years, it all started to come together. Mm-hmm. All my interests with 360 and with my performing. I do straight acting as well.
And modeling.
Yeah. and Instagram and everything. So for me, it's, I guess without necessarily realizing it, it all goes together. It's all part of the same mission for me.
And I mean, I know for a fact, and this is I know because I have witnessed it, that you practically work day and night, but having fun. Yes. What I'm surprised about you, and I have to say this to everybody who is listening, is that Eugenia has always the same energy. I have never seen her tired. I have never seen her down. I have always seen her uplifted and up. And so this is, what can I say? Congratulations. I hope it will continue to be like this, and I hope we get to see you in big stages all over the world.
Thank you.
In the meantime, can you tell us a little bit about Dimitri?
Yes. So Dimitri appears in the first act, and when we have a bit of this murder mystery situation, and he's a page boy. Mm-hmm. And he knows very well that being, lower class and part of the people who are working in the house, that he is in a little bit of a dangerous situation, and everyone's questioning him. And he is concerned because he does care about these people, but he's also concerned because he knows, that his job is at risk. But he manages to explain what he knows, at least, with this whole story.
Eugenia, you mezzo-sopranos, especially lyric mezzo-sopranos like yourself, you have to deal with a lot of pants roles where you play boys. How does that make you feel as a performer?
So I'm going to insert one of the quotes I live by here. It's by Whoopi Goldberg. Mm-hmm. And she says, I am an actor, meaning not an actress. I am an actor because I can play anything. So to me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I am an actor and I interpret people. So it doesn't matter if they're male or female or whatever. I can play an animal if I have to. Which I probably will have to,
Yes, hello.
So that's a little bit how I see it. But yeah. It's fun.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us, Eugenia. Stay with us until the end, and we will say all goodbye to our public. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stefanos. Thank you, everyone.
So we will go on to the last two cast members that I have been invited. I am back. Something happened. I don't know what happened, but here I am. Phew. The beauties or no beauties, I don't know how to else to express that, of being live. And like I was saying, I do apologize to whoever I couldn't bring in this live, only because Fedora has a lot of roles, and StreamYard unfortunately has only possibility for 10 guests. And without further ado, I would like to bring two other very special people to me for many, many reasons. One of them is Kinneret Eli, who sang The Little Shepherd in our production of Fedora. And here I am. Just give me 1 second. I will bring her in right away. Hello, Kinneret. How are you?
I'm so happy to be here.
It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And you're calling us from Israel, of course?
Yes, it's just one time zone off of Italy in the same one as Greece. So yeah, this is so exciting. And this is my first time seeing the snippets, of course, from Fedora. So I'm more excited than ever.
Excellent, excellent. And I will bring in also bass Rick Axter, who sang the beautiful supporting role of LOREK. Hi, Rick. How are you? We cannot hear you.
Yes, great. I am great. Thank you, Stefanos. How are you?
Rick, thank you for being with us. So to both of you, starting with Kinneret, I would like to ask the same thing. What prompts you to give your energy and your passion to a supporting small role?
Yeah, so I mean, really, every role has to work together for the success of a production. So in that sense, somebody once said that there are no small roles, because if you compare a production to a machine, it's like every part of that machine has to work very well, and then it work well together. So you know, there's always kind of life to breathe in any role, and you know, that's absolutely the truth. And that was especially evident during our production week, actually, in which everybody absolutely brought their A game, and saw that life being baked into everything.
Wonderful. How about you, Rick?
So I enjoy the supporting roles, you know, because when you're on stage, you don't really normally get to have a narrator who says, you know, Fedora was tall, you know, so a lot of the characters around will have dialogue that sort of tells the story that's going on, explains what's going on. We start the second act, I'm the doctor, and we're at a party, a very high society at a Parisian salon, you know, and we make a joke. We make jokes about running from the police because we're running away from Russia, you know, oppression in Russia. Although then you can bring your own little focus to the actual character, because we are very wealthy people, and you know, this probably really doesn't affect us because we can be hanging out in you know, eating bonbons and cake in a Parisian salon. So that's kind of funny. I also really enjoy when a role will come in and bring new news to the whole and just take the story in a completely different direction. You know, it's always fun to just blow something up. Like my favorite is the gardener, Antonio in Figaro, who comes, you know, he comes in all of a sudden in the middle and says, you know, I've seen a lot of garbage thrown off the balcony, but you know, today I saw a young man fall off of the balcony, and you know, and then it makes people mad, and then they try to cover it up, and it's always fun to sort of take a little piece, and then you know, you're taking the stories in some other direction. But those are my thoughts on it.
Thank you so much, both of you, for being here with us. Please stay until the end for a final salute to everybody who is following. And last, but believe me not least, I will add the director of this project, Malena Dayen, who I had already the wonderful experience to work with in our other project, in Boitos Mephistopheles, this dedication that we did to the 100 years of Beniamino Gilli's debut at the Met. Unfortunately, I see that Malena is not online. She has closed her camera. So I guess, I don't know what happened to her. Maybe she has some kind of problems, connection problems. While we're waiting that Malena comes back, I would say that why don't we hear once more Michelle Johnson singing something else from Fedora. Yeah, one more time, you get the idea, huh? So now that Malena is back with her camera working, oh joy of joys, here is the director of Fedora, Malena Dayen.
Hi.
How are you?
Sorry, I was here the whole time listening to everybody, but my camera was off, which is just very funny. Sorry for the stress.
No, it's totally fine. I actually got the opportunity. It was not in my plans to play a third clip from Fedora. So it's all good.
You got it. You got it. Perfect.
First of all, I want to say that to everybody who's listening, that I'm very happy that Malena was part of this project for so many reasons that I will not. I have said that online so many times. One of these is because me and Malena, it's like we think the same way. We have the same aesthetic. We have a very particular way of seeing productions and what our vision is. So yes, I'm happy with everything that that has happened throughout this year with you as director.
Me too. I feel so lucky, Stefanos. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can you walk us through a little bit about? Can you walk us through the process of preparing and of making this production?
Well, we talked in the summer, you and me, the vision we had from the beginning was related to film noir. We talked a bit during this pre-premiere party about this mystery, and we had this image of inspired in old police films, French police films, and Humphrey Bogart, and that kind of world. But it was always important for us that we were still in the tradition of Teatro Grattacielo, that this was still a concert version, and it was a live performance, not a movie. Although we are filming, right? So we are really in an intersection between different worlds, because this is opera, theater, and film. But as you mentioned before, but I want to underline that most of the material you will see in the film, in the movie, are just one take. Most of the scenes were sung one time. I mean, we recorded in a day and a half at the space. So it's really outstanding, and I think you can feel it although there are several cameras, you do get to feel the intensity of opera. So if you're asking me about the process, we had the fortune of working in the Docksy, the theater Target Margin in Brooklyn. It's a large industrial looking space. And we work with a wonderful team with John De Gaetano as a lighting designer. We, worked very fast and scrappy, but really found different ways to light the space to have a feeling of the different spaces in the opera. And then work, with the poetry of the music, the poetry of the text, and the poetry of the space, to make to put the focus on the operatic singing, and the cast really delivered. They were.
I agree. They did.
But they put everything on the table, everything they had, and it was really, really thrilling.
Absolutely, and I want to say this. I want to take a point from what Malena said to one more enhance the fact that when me and Malena we started talking about this project, we thought right away, how can we bring a live performance close to a closer possible, imaginable to a filmed performance, and that's what we did. We did not use studio recordings. It's all live. It all happened live and has been filmed. I want to thank you so much, Malena, and I cannot wait to the world for Tuesday for everybody to see this beautiful, beautiful project. I want also to remind everybody that producing opera is costly and timely. So if any of you feels like donating even $5, even $1, I promise you, whatever you donate gets into very good use and helps to create art, music, and love, because we all do it with lots and lots of love. So without further ado, I would like to say good night to everybody, but I would also like to bring everybody on.
Hi, everyone.
Guys, before we say good night, I want to say that I appreciate all of you. I love you. I thank you for your artistry, for your beautiful work, and you all came and you gave the best of you, and I'm sure the results will be seen for a very long time. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefanos, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
And we'll see you Tuesday.
Yes, see you Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.